Coda 28 with King Wise.
Welcome back to Quarter to 8. Today we are going to be, me and Fiona here, we're going to be talking about the mind, the power of the mind, the internal CEO that is in us, and the one guy that is always moving things around and shows us what we want to be doing that day or where we are heading for all time. So, what do you think about that, Fiona?
Thanks for having me. Yes, that internal CEO is such a powerful metaphor. It really highlights that part of us that's calling the shots, even when we're not consciously aware of it. It's that guiding force that shapes our decisions and directs our attention. What are your initial thoughts on this internal CEO? What does it bring to mind for you?
Well, it's amazing because it never stops, does it? It's always thinking, and it's always when you are when you have a problem, there's always something running in the background, trying to solve that problem, and that's your mind. That's what you are trying to pull out and kind of find ways to uh, help the CEO become help the CEO help us in a way. So what you said, even when you are not awake, when you're sleeping, the subconscious is always doing something.
Absolutely. That subconscious part is truly remarkable. It's like our internal engine that's always working, sifting through information and trying to make sense of things, even when we're not consciously focused. So, with that understanding in mind, let's begin our deep dive into the power of the mind, our internal CEO. What exactly do we mean when we use this internal CEO metaphor? How does it help a layperson understand its role?
Okay, here's the thing. A lot of you who are watching this channel are not subscribed. And you might even think you are subscribed because you see this video coming up. But just do me a favor and check and see if you are subscribed. Thank you. It helps with the algorithm. YouTube loves it. I love it. You love it.
Well, basically, what we are saying is we are kind of separating the day-to-day you that you think about, that you see in the mirror, and the man behind the curtain. In a sense, we are just trying to say there is a separation of the person who is running the show, in this case your life, and you, the person who is acting it out, who is experiencing the life. That's I think that's the basic kind of separation. And it being the CEO, we are just trying to say uh, he's the guy with the vision or the girl with the vision, and the one who calls the shots and the direction of the whole company, or just you.
That's a really valuable clarification. Yes, it's that part of us that's making the strategic decisions and setting the direction, not just the day to day experiential self. And understanding that separation is the first step to working with our CEO more effectively. Now, with this CEO in mind, what kind of unhelpful blind spots does it sometimes have? What are cognitive biases, and what's the most common one that tricks us into making bad decisions?
We kind of have blind spots, don't we? Because sometimes we we set out to do something, and for example, we have I'm thinking of something like, if you buy a Honda CRV, or if you buy a Ford Ranger, you're gonna start seeing a lot more Ford Rangers wherever you're going. So that's some biases that we see in our lives, and we should watch for those, in especially when we are planning to do something. It doesn't mean that if you plan to do something and you start seeing things moving in that direction, it might just be that it has always being like that, but you were not kind of noticing. So you should actually be objective and say, is this really what's going on, or is just me uh, saying, okay, I want to do this. So you're positively for the goal that you want, but you had not yet did an evaluation of seeing what's going on in your life, as it were.
That's a fantastic example. That selective perception, where we suddenly notice things we weren't before, is a classic cognitive bias in action. Our CEO is wired to find confirmation of its existing beliefs, and that can lead us to miss crucial information. It's why it's so important to challenge our assumptions. So, what's the single most practical daily habit we can adopt to minimize the influence of these cognitive biases?
I think taking note of things that you are planning in your life is uh, writing things down is one of the best things to do, because if you see a pattern, maybe you can write it down, because when you see patterns, sometimes there are patterns that happen, and they are moving in the direction that you want, and which is a good thing, but you should always be noticing those patterns and writing everything down. And also, one big thing that you can actually do is introspection. I've talked about this countless times, and I think it's one of the most important tools that we have. If you are stripped down and you don't have anything at all, or you don't even have friends, uh, talking to yourself is one of the biggest tools that you can use to kind of find out where you are going wrong or where you're going right. And that's very, very important. And after you do that, you write it down and say, okay, um, let's say, for example, you want to do a business, and you start the business and it fails. uh, Thinking to yourself, where you when writing things down, it can kind of show you where exactly you are going wrong, and being truthful to yourself as well. And that CEO can actually get a good report from you, thinking introspection, in your introspection, and thinking and talking to yourself, and then writing down these things. It is it is something that we should kind of get used to. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but it is very important. We can do it. Anybody can do it. And it's not that people don't want to talk to themselves, because they think, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be crazy. Is it? I think it's being crazy, but it's not. It's actually a good tool to use, because if you are somebody who is not good at talking to people, talk to yourself, and then you can. You are already doing it anyway, but you might not be acknowledging that you're doing it. So doing it is a good thing, and writing things down.
Those are really valuable practices. Journaling provides a great opportunity for introspection, allowing us to step back and observe our thoughts and actions. It's like having a conversation with our CEO, helping us become more aware of those cognitive biases in play.
What do you think we need to be doing every day for us uh, to guard against those cognitive biases?
Perhaps another practical daily habit could be to take a moment, maybe during a coffee break, to intentionally consider one decision you made today and evaluate whether there might be been another way to look at it. What are your thoughts on briefly reviewing decisions from a different perspective daily?
Okay, here's the thing. A lot of you who are watching this channel are not subscribed. And you might even think you are subscribed because you see this video coming up. But just do me a favor and check and see if you are subscribed. Thank you. It helps with the algorithm. YouTube loves it. I love it. You love it.
Yeah, that's a really valid point. Especially when you kind of had maybe you had a conflict with someone, uh, checking if you did something to trigger that conflict, or maybe checking if you would have done it in a better way, or you would have responded in a better way, so that next time you can change that, you can shift your 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 behavior in a way so that there's no conflict. Don't get me wrong, sometimes conflict is necessary, sometimes, but not every time. So thinking things through gives you an edge, so that you can, next time, you can be more intentional in doing something, because being intentional is one big thing, one thing you should do in life. And the mind, the internal CEO needs to be focused on being intentional every single time, because it's so powerful that if it focuses on one thing, like just waiting to react to life, it will stop you from even doing uh, the good things that are intentional, because there's a comfort zone that it has created, and it says this is the zone, and anything that is not that way of reaction, it is considered to be it's considered to be something that will kill you in a way. So it makes you not want to do something, but you kind of have to brainwash yourself a little bit, so that you can be more focused on, or more open to change, and to be more open to uh, things changing in your life.
All right, so we've established that daily introspection is key to observing our biases. Now, let's consider our thoughts more directly. Our CEO is constantly generating thoughts, but can we actually control them? How do we take control of negative or unproductive thoughts? Can we actually fire a thought?
Yeah, we actually have the power to stop a thought, because yeah, since we do more introspection, you find out that there are some intrusive thoughts that we don't want. And the good thing is to what I do is to just talk to the thought, and tell it, no, I don't want you in here. Like, if I'm thinking that maybe if I'm going to go out and I think about maybe my car will break down, I just tell myself that that's not going to happen. Stop thinking about that. And I think being straightforward and calling it out is more effective than because there's nobody else there. There's just you and your thoughts. So there's nobody who's going to come in between and say, now you are thinking bad thoughts. It's time to act. You're not gonna. That's just you. So if a bad thought comes in, tell it, you are not welcome here. No, stop. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And never think about that anymore. You do it enough times, you start to have a little bit more positive thoughts. And I think also to train your mind to think positively more, put in some positive things in your life, in your head, in your brain. Imagine good things happening, and I think that will kind of uh, remove start to remove the bad thoughts. And it is even in religions, they talk about that thoughts, thinking of the good things that can happen in your life, and staying away from the bad thoughts. So I think it's kind of a, a thing that has always been there, because your thoughts shape your life. So whatever you are thinking and whatever you are constantly thinking about is what you are. So thinking about the good things, thinking about who you are when you're a good person, or thinking about the good life more, is kind of a prayer to to help you in many ways. I'm kind of uh, moving into the spiritual part here, but it all comes together as well. So yeah, I think when you're thinking, and if a bad thought comes in, counter it with a good thought, and also call it out and say, I don't want you to be in my mind.
Exactly. It's all about taking back control. By acknowledging the thought, but then consciously redirecting your attention, you're training your mind to focus on the positive. It's like building a mental muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. So, what's the main takeaway you're getting from this discussion so far? And how do you think you can apply it in your daily life?
Well, the main thing I think is, since we are talking about the power of the brain, I think we should actually drill down more on the on what it does, what results come in from the brain. Because right now we have talked about introspection, which is a good thing, which is a very very important thing, and we talked about journaling, we talked about uh, intrusive thoughts, the thoughts that we don't want to be coming in our minds, and how to counter them. And it is mainly a practical thing. It is something you have to be doing uh, intentionally. So that's what I think. So the power of the mind is, we just scratching the surface here. We are not even going deep into how the power of the mind is. Uh, I think in the next episodes we'll drill in deeper and find to bring it out and see what the mind actually does and how it actually works.
I completely agree. We've really set the foundation with these practical tools like introspection and journaling, and consciously challenging thoughts. And as you said, that's only the beginning of understanding the brain's true power. In future episodes, I'm looking forward to exploring how we can use those tools to achieve greater clarity, make more informed decisions, and ultimately harness the full potential of our internal CEO